Hello and welcome to our tutorial on creating a Spring Boot project from scratch. In this video, we'll guide you through the entire process, from setting up your project to understanding its structure and starting development. Let's dive in. Are you ready to kickstart your Spring Boot project but feeling overwhelmed by the setup process? Say hello to Spring Boot Initializr, your ultimate ally in project initialization. Spring Boot Initializr is a user-friendly web-based tool provided by the Spring team, designed to streamline the process of creating Spring Boot projects. With Spring Boot Initializr, getting started is as easy as filling out a form. First thing to configure our project at Spring Initializr website. Go to start.spring.io and enter your project details. And select the dependencies you need for your project. Once you're done, hit the Generate button, and Spring Boot Initializr will generate a ready-to-use project structure for you. Download the project as a zip file and extract it to your preferred location. Import the project into your favorite integrated development environment, IDE, with just a few clicks. It's a basic idea of the Spring Boot Initializr. Let's get started. The first step is configure a Spring Boot project using Spring Initializr. Open your web browser and navigate to start.spring.io. Here is the Spring Initializr website. We can generate different types of projects like Maven, Gradle Groovy, and Gradle Kotlin. In this tutorial, I am going to use Maven, so I select Maven. Here, different languages are available, such as Java, Groovy, and Kotlin. In this tutorial, I am going to use Java, so I select Java. Then, also select the Spring Boot version. Choose the latest version available at that time. I choose version 3.2.2. Avoid choosing snapshot or milestone versions. Snapshot versions are a continuous work in progress, representing the latest changes and developments in the project. Milestone versions mark significant milestones in the development process, indicating that a set of features or improvements has been completed. Release versions represent stable and production-ready releases of the Spring Boot framework. In summary, snapshot versions offer the latest but potentially unstable changes, milestone versions mark progress towards a stable release, and release versions provide stable and production-ready versions suitable for deployment. At the time when you are watching this video, I guarantee you will see different versions available. Therefore, choose the most recent release version. Now we move to Project Metadata section. Enter Group ID. The Group ID is a unique identifier for a project's namespace and is used to distinguish it from other projects. I enter Group ID as com.gan.darpon. Next, enter Artifact ID. The Artifact ID is a unique identifier for a specific artifact within a project's namespace and is used in conjunction with the Group ID to uniquely identify Maven artifacts. In simple word, Artifact ID is the name of the application. I enter Spring Boot Demo. And next, select Java 21. Next, select the dependencies you need for your project. For example, if you're building a web application, select Spring Web. In this tutorial, I am building a simple RESTful API, so I select Spring Web. Once you've configured everything, go to the bottom and click on Generate to download your project. Next step is unzipping the downloaded file. Now open your download folder and right-click on Downloaded File and extract the project into your favorite or desired folder. Next step is import the project into your favorite IDE, such as IntelliJ IDEA or Eclipse. In IntelliJ IDEA, open IntelliJ IDEA. Click on File, locate the File menu at the top left corner of the window. Select Open. From the File menu, choose the Open option. This will prompt a file dialog box to appear. Choose your project, navigate to the directory where your project is located using the file dialog box. Select the folder containing your project and click OK. Click Trust Project. If IntelliJ IDEA detects that the project is using external dependencies or plugins, it may prompt you to Trust Project to enable these features. Click on a Trust Project to proceed. Choose Project Window. IntelliJ IDEA will ask if you want to open the project in the current window or a new window. You can choose according to your preference by clicking on the corresponding option. It will open the project. If you encounter an error like this, then right-click on your project and click on Open Module Settings. This will open the project settings. Then click on Project. Here you will see the SDK option. Click on the SDK drop-down and select Java 21. And click Apply. And click on Modules. And here you will see the Sources and Dependencies section. Click on Sources and Dependencies and verify that it contains the correct Java version. If you're still encountering exceptions, press Ctrl+Alt+S on Linux. Here you will see Build, Execution, Deployment. Expand it and you will find Build Tools. Expand that and click on Maven. Here you will find the user settings file and local repository. To the right of these you will see an override option. Tick the override checkbox and click on Apply. Next, expand the compiler section, which is parallel to Build, Execution, Deployment. Click on Java Compiler and select the project bytecode version to 21. Then, click on Apply. Now, you will see that it successfully downloads all dependencies from the Maven repository. Let's start by taking a high-level look at the project structure. At the root of our project, we have the main components, src directory, pom.xml file, and the main application class. The src/main/java directory is where most of our Java code resides. Within this directory, we typically have a package structure that reflects our organization or project name. Inside, we find our main application class, controller classes, entity or model classes, and repository classes. Within this directory here you see Spring Boot application. This is the main class of the Spring Boot application. This line of code starts the Spring Boot application. It tells Spring Boot to bootstrap and run the application using the specified main class, myApplication.class, and any command line arguments, args, that were passed to the main method. By running the main method in the main class of your Spring Boot application, you kickstart the Spring Boot runtime, which initializes the Spring application context, auto-configures various components, and starts the embedded web server if your application includes web-related dependencies. The src/main/resources directory contains non-Java resources. Here, we have configuration files, static resources like CSS and JavaScript files, templates if we're using a templating engine like Timeleaf, and meta-inf for application-specific configuration files. In Spring Boot applications, the application.properties or application.yml files within the src/main/resources directory are commonly used to store application configuration properties. These files serve as a central place to configure various aspects of your Spring Boot application, including database connection settings, logging configuration, server port, external service URLs, and much more. The src/test directory is where we put our test classes. We write unit tests and integration tests to ensure the correctness of our application. Let's run our Spring Boot application. Right-click on Main Class. From the context menu that appears after right-clicking, select the Run option. This will initiate the execution of your Spring Boot application. It will start the application. You don't need to worry about the server, as Spring Boot provides an embedded server. Here you will see our Tomcat will get started on port 8080. Now open your browser and type localhost 8080 in your browser for verifying your Spring Boot application is responding or not. And there you have it. You've successfully created a Spring Boot project, understood its structure. If you encounter any issues during the creation of the Spring Boot project, please feel free to comment down below. I'll do my best to assist you in resolving them. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the latest tutorials.